Action Camp is a 3-day intensive Skillshare space where organizers come together to build and develop strategies to end the school-to-prison pipeline.
To me, it's been this really incredible space for young folks to get together and really start to vision what a world without the school-to-prison pipeline and without structural racism could look like. Action Camp is the first space that I've been in where I've really seen youth leadership come alive on this particular issue. I've seen kids here as young as 10 or 12 years old really lead conversations, and you don't get to experience that very often.
So I really, as the victim, I don't get a chance to speak my piece, but in a restorative justice circle, I will be able to tell you that, hey, I was late for school because my mom works. I have to drop my little sister home and I don't have uniforms because I live in a low-income home where
Action Camp is an intentional intersectional space where we bring together organizers who are looking at the ways in which criminalization affects students of color and LGBTQ youth of color.
I think that it can be very daunting as a queer trans person of color to realize that you face multiple statistics and face multiple stereotypes. And I think people forget that if you really want to see how oppressive a system is, look at the people who it affects on a multi-layered level. So by creating an intersectional space, you're actually creating a fundamental shift inside of people, but also a fundamental shift within the system itself.
School can either be a tool for liberation or it can be a tool of oppression. And so what we're going to talk about today is how we can transform our schools.
This is one of those times, particularly in this world, where more and more young people are starting to make connections, starting to analyze, and starting to step up and take action as organizers. And so this Action Camp in particular is focused on young people from Florida and young people in general. And so I'm excited to build more with them and to be inspired by what they're seeing and what they want to do next.
We had a really good session where we were talking about police and the role of police in schools. There's just a tremendous sense of frustration with the status quo and a tremendous desire to envision a different way, not just of thinking about safety, but thinking about education and thinking about what youth need. And so we often talk about dismantling the school-to-prison pipeline at Action Camp, but what was really powerful was hearing youth talk about building a new world for themselves. And I think that's something that I think, especially for the older folks who've been doing this for a little while, is refreshing and empowering to hear.
And so that moment for me, I had to start breaking down those anti-Black things within myself, right? Those anti-queer things within myself. And as a collective, people helped me get to that point, right?
I definitely feel like the Action Camp has created that space of just them being connected to one another and then working to say, okay, what can I then now bring back home? I know a lot of them are like, oh, I want to bring this icebreaker, I want to bring this workshop, I'm going to bring this. And so the work for us now is to continue to be like, all right, when are you going to do it, right? Like identifying those days so that everything that they got from here, from the other groups that came, whether it was new information, data, statistics, or facilitation styles, that they'll be able to bring it back.
I'm excited to see what the next few months of Florida look like. I think if people start hearing about Pinellas or Hillsborough or Orange County or any of these other places in Florida and the work that young students are doing around busting the school-to-prison pipeline, it started here.